Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I am Aradia Arcanum and I hope you all are doing well. This is the first video that I'm excited about doing in the series of Glamour Magic, and I'm doing it in a way where hopefully it is fun and you guys can join along. The reason why I decided to do it this way is because we have, there's so much about glamour magic online, and I didn't want to jump into the science of glamour magic, what it is, how do you do it. Instead, I wanted to do something where we go through the process of doing it and seeing what glamour magic is and experiencing it. So this will be a series of 4 videos. Maybe I think the last one may be alive, but I will talk about that more later in the video. And it is going to be a process, a step-by-step process. Each video will lead into the next video. And yeah, so I'm excited to begin this, and it's a perfect time because we are in Venus retrograde, and I'll explain more on that later. First, I want to say I am in another part of my home where I do not usually film. I just wanted to get this out there. I tried to do this video several times and it didn't work out. So it is what it is. I hope the video quality doesn't bother you. Yeah, I just wanted to get this started. So let's just jump right in. Firstly, I want to talk about the concept of the inner glamour and the outer glamour. We are going to work with both because I think that I feel, or I know that makes it more powerful. So outer glamour is your clothing. When you enchant your clothing, your jewelry, your glasses, your makeup, anything that you're going to put on and go out into the world with, right? You're enchanting it so that it can be perceived a certain way. This could be for an interview. This can be for an event that you go to. You are enchanting these items so that they can be perceived in a certain way. The inner glamour is you're working on what it takes, right? The confidence, working on what may be blocking your confidence, working on what may be blocking your self-worth. You work on those things inwardly so that you can express this energy, and it will go out into your aura. It will be expansive, go out into the room, and you will attract, right? You will look glamorous because it's coming from the inside. Your confidence is exuding glamour, sensuality. You look desirable because when anybody looks confident, they look desirable. So this is why I want to address working on it, the inner and the outer, because we want this to be powerful. So the first video, we are going to do a couple of things, and these things are going to lead into the next video and so on and so forth. The last video or live is going to be the Glamour Magic ritual that we would have led up to cast and manifest. So let's get into what we are going to begin to do in the first part of this process. I also want to say that there will be a PDF for you to download so that you can have the things on it that's necessary, and I'll explain more in a bit. But let's just jump right into the first thing that we are going to do. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to begin to address the inner. We are going to sit and think about what glamour means to each of us, because it means something different. Different things make different people feel glamorous. Different smells, clothing, we all are unique in what makes us feel the way that we do. So you want to think, what is your definition of glamour? What makes you feel glamorous? Once you have that understanding, then you're going to write down what is the thing that's stopping you from doing that. Because maybe you don't feel pretty enough to do glamour magic. Maybe you don't feel like you can do the glamour magic, right? Maybe you don't feel like you can manifest this, or maybe you don't even believe in it, but you want to give it a try to see. So whatever that is, write those things down. The reason for this is once you have acknowledged this, once you have shed some light on whatever is blocking you, your fears, the things that's hindering you, once you have shed some light on that and brought awareness to it, it is then now no longer having the power over you. You are now releasing the power back into your hands. You are taking back your power. So the more light and the more awareness you bring to these things, the more they dissipate, right? Then the more powerful you become, and you regain that confidence, that self-worth. So this is the reasoning for beginning with this. So you're going to write those things down. You're going to keep that paper. And these are the things that you have acknowledged that is hindering you from being glamorous, from being your best Venus. You know, Venus is the expression of love, glamour, desire, sensuality, confidence. So you want to be your best Venus. That is the first thing we're going to do in this first week. The next thing we're going to do is create a sigil for this magic. I have created a sigil that I'm going to share with you in a moment. I'm going to share with you how I created the sigil and take you through that process step by step. I used Canva to do this because the method that I'm using, which is the will method, I want to preserve the integrity of the will, right? I have printouts, but if you write on that printout, right, that is, you can no longer, unless you use an eraser, but you know, that gets tacky after a while. So I do this digitally. I have it in Canva. So in Canva, you can use the draw method that they have there and draw your sigil, and then you can erase it. So this way you can use the will again. So you will see what I'm talking about in a second. So let's go over to the creation of the sigil that I am going to be using. And if you know you want to use it as well for this glamour magic, and it'll give you some ideas to do so. Okay, so here is what I used. I used the will method, and I only used 2 words, right? I started with glamour and beauty. I wanted to keep it simple, make the direction and the focus and the intent simple so we know what it is and we know what we want this sigil to be. Now, this is just, this is what I used. You can totally, you know, do your own, create your own sigil. But I wanted to show you the process in which I did it. I used the will method. And so this is the letters that are left, right? I started with glamour, beauty. I crossed out the vowels and made sure there were not duplicate letters. And I was left with this here. So I am going to, the next step I'm going to show you is I used Canva, and you can totally have a free account with Canva to do this. But I use Canva so that I can reuse the will. I don't want to write on the will, right? I want to keep the integrity of the will so that I can continue to use it. So in Canva, there is the option to draw. So you can draw on the sigil, will, or the letter will, and erase it. So what you will see me do next is I will go through creating the sigil using the will based on the letters that was left, and I will use the draw method in Canva. And I did it a couple of times, so you'll see me create it. And then I didn't like how the lines came out, so which is great in Canva. If you don't like it, you can just hit the erase button and it will go away, which is what I do when I want to reuse the will for another time. I erase everything. So that's handy when, you know, you want to play around and get it right, get the lines right. So what I do is when I use the will, I go to the first letter, which would be G, and I put a circle or a dot. And from there, you will see me draw to the next letter and so on. And the last letter that I draw the line to, I end with a dot. So I will show you that now. So we're in Canva, and I am using the draw, and you will see me, you see me here. I'm going from one letter to the next, starting with G, and you kind of have a steady hand, which is why I did it a couple of times, because, you know, the lines might come out a little wonky, you know, you don't like it, so you hit erase, and it erases the whole thing, and you choose the color in which you want to use. I chose this color. So you do the dot or circle. From there, you go to the next letter, which is L, then M, then R, and B. Then the next letter is T, and the last letter is Y. I end it with a dot. So then what I do is I take this, I copy this here, and the next step is what I do is, so this is what we got from the will, right? So I copied and pasted it to the next sheet, and, you know, I turned it around. I finagled how I wanted to stand, whether it was sideways, upside down. And what I also did was I added a visual of the symbol for Venus. And I wanted the lines to be a little curvy, right? Well, this is glamour. So I used some swirly or curvy lines, but this is representing Venus. So the idea is that this is the glamour, right? This is the glamour magic, and from this becomes the glamour. So that is what I'm using. It's pretty simple, straight to the point. And so this is going to be a sigil that I am going to be using for this Glamour Magic. And if you are interested in using it, I will totally put the PDF so that you can download it. Or you can, if you're a good visual person, you can pause the screen and draw your own sigil, copying this one here. But in any case, it's available for you. So now that you see the sigil that I created, and maybe you want to create your own, and this gave you some ideas, we are going to activate our sigil. Now, there's many ways to do this. I'm going to do the simplest way that works best for what it is that we are going to be doing. If you are someone that works with sigils and you have your own method to activating your sigil, by all means, please do so. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take a tea light candle. If you do not have a tea light candle, no worries, use another candle. Don't let that hinder you. So you're going to take this candle, and I can already hear what color. So if you have white, pink, red, green, gold, these are good colors to work with for this magic. So, and again, I'm going to have this information on the PDF along with the sigil that you can print out and follow. So you're going to take this candle and sit it on top of the printout. You want to make sure that this is in the hour of Venus, the planetary hour of Venus that day. And if you need the app, I have an app that I use for my iPhone. I will put the link in the description of this video for you to check that out. You're going to do this during the planetary hour of Venus. Now, if you happen to do it the day of Friday, the Venus day, that's even more, that's going to amplify the magic more. So when you do this, it's going to be during the hour of Venus. You're going to sit your candle on top of that sigil. You are going to light it as you speak the words to activate the sigil. That can be, I activate you for Glamour Magic, just as simple as that. And you're also, after you say the words, I activate you for Glamour Magic, or whatever words you're going to use, I am going to be speaking, and you can do so also. Affirmation, affirming words. I am glamorous. I am desirable. I am confident. I am sensual. So these are things you want to speak to build that energy as this sigil is being activated. Also, what will help to amplify it even further, to raise the frequency, to be in alignment with what it is you need to charge the sigil with, you can set the tone. You can play some music. You can light some incense. You can spray some perfume. I have my perfume here on my Venus altar that I leave here to be imbued with Venusian energies. So my brain knows that when I spray this perfume, it automatically knows, okay, ready, set, go, Venusian vibes. So whatever that is for you, because we are all unique, right? So whatever that is for you, do that, because you want to set the tone, set the frequency to be in alignment with the energy you want to charge into the sigil. Now, you can be one and done, activate that sigil. However, I am going to do this in a 3-day process for a couple of reasons, right? We are in a retrograde right now. So I just want to I want to put the extra, the extra stank on it. So the next following day, and I'm probably going to try to do this leading up to the 3rd day being a Friday. So the next day, I may not light a candle, but the next day I will continue to speak the words. As I stare and gaze into the sigil, I will continue to speak the words. You are activated for Glamour Magic, right? Because at this point it's activated. So you want to continue to say you are activated for Glamour Magic and just speak those affirming words. And the following day, I'm going to do that as well. So that's 3 days of charging this sigil. The reason why I think this is a great time to do this, right? As I mentioned, we are in a Venus retrograde, and we're also in Mercury retrograde at the time that I'm filming this, which could be why I had some difficulties with this recording. But we are in Venus retrograde. So what is happening now? If you are joining me, if you're catching this in the future, no worries. You can do this at any time. But the reason why I'm starting this now is we are in the Venus retrograde and it's in Aries. So what that's going to do is when you write down the things that is hindering you, right? Because we're working from the inside, the inner glamour, it's going to shed some light on it even more, right? Because this is Venus, right? So all the things that are Venus attributes are going to be visited or revisited because we're in a retrograde. So, you know, people, places, and things resurface. And that is because it is seeing whether or not you are over that, or maybe you are not over it. But you just revisit the things that you need to work on. So this is a perfect time to do that. And then what's going to happen is Venus is going into Pisces, still in retrograde, but in April, the beginning of April, is going into Pisces. And when Venus is in Pisces, she is exalted. She is loving life. So when that happens, if you are following along with this Glamour Magic, at this point, you may receive these downloads on how to continue, how to move forward, how to continue working on being more confident. And, you know, all of a sudden you get these downloads of like the light bulb goes on. Okay, I see how I can do this. I see why this was happening. So this is why this is a good time to do this. Once this is done, we are going to save these things because we are going to go into the next week where we are going to continue to utilize these items. We're going to use the words you have written, and we're going to use the sigil. in the next week of this process of this Glamour Magic. So by the time we get to the 4th week, we are going to be charged up, ready to go. We have worked on this. We have built up the energy. It's kind of like foreplay, right? And then the 4th week is the climax, and we're ready to charge that magic to manifest the glamour. And if you are joining me, firstly, put it in the comments of this video. Please let me know if you will be joining me, because I think it's going to be so much fun. And if you are joining me, would you like the 4th week to be alive? This way we can all join along and do this, cast this magic at the same time together. I think that would be powerful. If not, that's totally fine too. I could do the video pre-recorded, and you can do it at that time that works best for you. So please let me know in the comments that this is, if you are going to be doing this, and if you have any questions about what it is that I shared. And yeah, I don't think I forgot anything, but check the description of this video for the information for the PDF. I'm not selling you anything. It is a free PDF of the sigil, because I want you to, if you're going to do it and use it or want to use it, I want it to be available to you so that you can join in on the fun. So stay tuned. Once you get this 1st week done, stay tuned for the next week, where we are going to continue this process of the next step towards casting that glamour magic, working on the inner and the outer. So I hope you're having a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, or night, whenever it is, or wherever you are that you are watching this. I love you all, and until the next video, into the shadows.